Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is lap guide for Lago Maggiore in reverse with the Porsche 911 RSR. Let's get this started. Stay on the left side of the track, and your first braking point is going to be the start of this great curb that is on the left. Don't use all of your braking power. You want to use some of your braking power so you can still turn in as you're slowing down. Carefully accelerate your way out. Then do a lift off of throttle as you make this right turn and brake just before the curb on the right ends. Quick burst of braking, so you want to brake hard for a moment and quickly ease off of the brakes. Turn in when the curb on the right ends and control your throttle input here, and don't get too aggressive on the throttle, otherwise you will go off track. Then ease off of throttle, take advantage of this curb. Ease off of throttle again. Lots of throttle control is needed for this track. Then brake before the yellow area on the right ends, so you brake hard for a moment. Quickly ease off of the brakes and take advantage of the curbs. This bank turn will help the car quickly rotate so you can quickly get on the throttle. Now stay on the right side of the track, and this is where it starts to get really tricky. Start to turn in when the yellow area on the right starts, and you want to try to take this first turn flat out. Try to get on the curb on the left. Then do a short lift as you make this right turn and avoid the sausage curb on the right. Control your throttle and use a little braking as the curb on the left goes away from you. You want to try to get on this inside area. Then control your throttle again, get on the curbs, take advantage of the curbs, and brake just after the left turn ends. Then you just want to control your braking power as you go through this right turn and carefully accelerate your way out. Don't hit this apex of this first left turn, but you want to start to brake before the curb on the left ends. You want to bring yourself just a little wide as you control your braking power, then bring yourself in and try to hit the apex. Control your throttle as you exit this turn. Look for the start of the red area on the right, as that is your next braking point. Brake hard for a short moment, slowly ease off of the brakes, and you can briefly go down to first gear for additional rotation. Then do a short lift off of throttle for this right turn, bring yourself to the right, and brake just after the curb on the left ends. You want to bring yourself all the way to the inside of the turn, stay on the left, and do a lot of throttle control as you exit this series of turns. But that is it for this lap guide. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the strategies. So for the strategy of this race, there's going to be an extra step before you actually enter this race, and that is to do a lot of practice in the time trial mode. Lago Maggiore in reverse is not easy. Lago Maggiore in the Ford variation is not too hard, but in this version, the reverse, it's probably one of the hardest layouts in the entire game. So you want to get a lot of practice in before you start to do races for this daily race. But going to the actual strategy for this race, this is going to be a no-stop race. The tire wear will affect the car a bit depending on how you treat the tires. So you want to make sure that you're not sliding around too much, not battling too much. You want to make sure that your tires are taken care of so they can last the entire race without causing much of a problem. You can also adjust the brake balance so you can try to even out the tire wear to help make the tires last the entire race. So for example, here I had the brake balance on the Porsche set to -1, so 1 point towards the front of the car, and that seemed to do the job in terms of evening out the tire wear. I was able to get consistent laps, although they weren't the best laps, they were still pretty consistent, and I actually didn't really have a problem with the tire wear at all. I also want to note to be careful as you exit the final turn, as if you start to spin out, you risk either hitting a wall or you risk spinning out into the pit stop, which is going to make you look a little silly. But once again, this race is a no stop. You just want to make sure that you're taking care of your tires. Don't slide around too much. Adjust the brake balance as needed, and you should be good to go. In terms of fuel, that is not a problem at all, so don't worry about that. But last but not least, just make sure you practice this race a lot before you enter the actual daily race, as Lago Maggiore in reverse is extremely difficult. It will be very rewarding once you get it right, but it's going to take a while to get there. Obviously for me, it took me a while to go from, I think it was a 156.6 when I entered this race, all the way until a 156.0, and that gave me a huge headache, and that's probably the reason why I'm starting to get sick. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So this is Mr. MCA, wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.